welcome to my channel. My name's Amelia. Today I want to start the video a little bit differently, and I want to share something with you that's been on my mind a little bit, or rather for a little while. I will put a timestamp below for those of you who want to just get to the reading, but I do hope that you will stay for this part because it's about the channel, about the ethics of the channel, and about manifesting your divine masculine. I'll try and keep it brief. So it's been on my mind a fair bit recently about, like I said, how ethical I feel this channel is and the kind of readings that I do. When I set up this channel, it was because, I'd recently been through, I would say, the last major cycle of death and rebirth in my twin flame connection, and having come out, I suppose you could say, the other side, and having regained a sense of stability and groundedness psychologically and emotionally, I just felt that I wanted to reach out to other divine feminines, and just offer some guidance, offer some support, offer insight into areas that it would have benefited me to be able to have insight into. So that's what I started doing. My concern is that in doing these readings, it's going to perpetuate a feeling of stuckness or prevent some divine feminines from moving forward, which is not something I want to do. I also have a big concern that these readings aren't always linear. It's not one story. So sometimes we'll get a really seemingly odd video or a message thrown in that doesn't tie up with what we've been seeing. And I never want one of you to come to this channel and watch that video and to feel really dejected because it's a whole other storyline. But I think with that, you're obviously all intelligent and sensible, and I trust that if a storyline doesn't resonate with you, you're going to realize that and you're not going to take it seriously, hopefully. So, I trust you guys with that. This leads me into manifesting. So what I want to really point out is it took me a very long time to realize that tarot videos on YouTube, private readings, that we can book, any other kind of divination or input from anybody else, it's secondary. It's secondary to your own manifesting power. So what I mean by this is, imagine you go into a shop, a clothes shop, and you're speaking to the sales assistant. You would expect them, in their role as the assistant, to support you in choosing an outfit, finding what it is that you want. And they're happy to do that in that role. And that's what I want you to see me as, to see this channel as an assistant. So come to the channel, browse the videos as you would with clothing. If you like something, great, pick it up, take it with you. If you don't, just leave it where it is. If it's not for you, that's fine. So my point is, your perspective, what you focus on, your manifesting power is always, always more important than my readings, than me, than my advice, than any tarot video, than any reading that you book. And I want to talk a bit about manifesting. So say that you come to a video and it's not the message you want to hear. I want you to feel so empowered that you can just click off of the video and laugh at it, because you know that it's irrelevant. You can go away and you can change the situation, or direct it in a way that's more preferable to you. So say that happens. Ways you can raise your vibration is to find a different video, one that does give you a message that you want to hear. Now, some of you are going to say, but that's not realistic. We can't just look at things we want. But I'm going to say, absolutely, yes, that's what we can do, and it's what we should do. It's a strange thing to do at first because it doesn't seem sensible. It's not what we're told to do as adults. We're not taught that if we just think about what we want and eliminate the 3D realities we see it, that's a good thing. That's called ignorance. That's called living in a fantasy world. Well, that's what children do every day. And think about how well it works out for them. Think about the myth of Santa Claus. So many children believe in Father Christmas for years, and it gets them what they want, which is a feeling of hope. And in the 3D reality, they get extra gifts, at Christmas time. It may not be that the gifts come from the place that they think they should come. They come secretly from their parents most times, but they appear nevertheless. So my point here is that by focusing just on what you want, by watching videos that you want to hear, and the messages that feel good to you, you're going to manifest what you want, even if it doesn't come in the way you think spirit should deliver it to you. If maybe you think your divine masculine should appear in a certain way, and it might be that they appear in a different way, but nonetheless, the vibration you're sending out is consistent with union, with manifesting this connection, if that's what you want. So manifesting is simple. There are 3 parts to it, but at the same time, it's the most difficult thing. So we have to decide what it is that we want without reservation, without any kind of conflicting thought or belief in our minds. Now, that can be much easier said than done. For many of you who come to my channel, your divine masculine will have a karmic partner. So how do you, in this reality, align with the belief that your divine masculine will come into union with you, even though he or she is married? Obviously, instantly, there's conflict there. There might be conflict around the practicality of it. There might be conflict around the moral issue of it. So many things. So you really have to find your own way to believe that, to align with that 100%, without question, without doubt. And you have to align with it vibrationally. You have to align with it psychologically, consciously, subconsciously, emotionally. There can't be any doubt. And once you've managed that, and that's the important thing to work on, it could take you weeks, months, you then move forward, and only think about, only visualize, only imagine exactly what you want to happen. Nothing less, nothing anterior to those things, nothing slightly different. And that's a difficult thing to do. A couple of weeks ago, I had a meeting with somebody that I didn't want to. I like this person, but I just wasn't in the mood to have the meeting on that particular day. I didn't really want to cancel, but nevertheless, I didn't want it to go ahead. And I sensed that this other person also maybe wasn't feeling the meeting, in the same way that I was, but didn't want to cancel themselves. And because I sensed, I took this tiny seed, I suppose you could say, of doubt that they had shown, not in the 3D, just energetically. And I worked with this. And even though I had reservations initially about that person's free will and how well this would work, my desire to not go to the meeting was so strong that I thought, I don't have time. I can't focus on, doubt. So what I did is I allowed that tiny seed to be the catalyst for me believing that it could work, that I wasn't working 100% against their free will. And I focused for about 18 hours. Anytime a thought about this event came into my head, all I would think about is the exact outcome I wanted, which, and it might sound selfish, but it worked, was for the other person to cancel. So I could not go, but I also didn't seem like a horrible person for cancelling. And it worked. But I was so strict. Anytime the tiniest doubt, before it even became a thought, if I sensed the feeling that a doubt was coming in, I would eliminate it immediately. I have never been so strict with my thoughts. And it was exhausting, not just mentally, but energetically, spiritually, even physically. It felt like a real workout, so much so that I've wanted to put this to the test again since, but I haven't felt that I'm ready to, to give that much energy. So this is my point. You can manifest your divine masculine, but it takes serious work and effort on all levels, more than we tend to give manifesting, because it's thoughts, because we can't see what we're creating. We can be a bit lazy about it, and that's all of us. We think, oh, I'll just have a doubt here, I'll just question something there, I'll just imagine this scenario. No, we can't do that. Or nothing like that, just what you want. Think of walking along, a sidewalk, walking along a street, and I say to you, You have to walk from one end to the other, where I'm standing, looking only at the ground. It doesn't matter what's going on either side of you, just look at the ground. You know, you might manage, or you might hear someone call your name, so you quickly look, and then you look back at the ground. If I said to you, okay, do that same walk again, only looking at the ground, and if you look up once, when you reach me, I'm going to cut both of your arms off with this chainsaw. That's going to really focus your attention. And that's how seriously we need to take what we're manifesting. So we need to do those three things. We need to get on board mentally and emotionally with what we want. We need to genuinely believe it can happen. Then raise our vibration to match that. And that will happen naturally, because if we're genuinely believing it can happen, we'll feel good about it. And this, the third thing to me, is the most difficult. Don't even have one single doubt about what you're manifesting. Don't imagine anything but what you want to happen. And you have to be so strict with yourself. It's quite difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to say. It's obviously going to be up to you to think about, how these videos fit in with your manifesting process and your journey. I'm so grateful and surprised that you're all here. And I would love for you to stay. But more than that, I want you to do what benefits you, what's going to help you. So always make that your priority. And please remember that this is a supplement to your own power, your manifesting ability. Don't see these videos as guidance, see them as support. If you like the messages, take them. If you don't, ignore them. And it's not childish, it's important, and it will be beneficial to you. Okay, so let me begin with the actual reading. Okay, right. Spirit, what can you share with us, please, about what's going on between the Divine Masculine and their karmic partners? Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. I believe we saw this yesterday as well. The Ace of Wands. Wow, the Six of Swords. There's a lot of movement here. Moving towards a passionate new start, moving towards a calmer state psychologically. The Four of Wands in reverse. The Moon in reverse. This is lovely. So the Moon in reverse with the Eight of Wands, bringing clarity, delivering a message that reveals, the truth of a situation, that exposes any previously hidden aspects of a situation. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords reversed, the Emperor. So there's the Divine Masculine. Whether your Divine Masculine is a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Okay, the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Five of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is a very, very clear reading from what I can see. Your Divine Masculine is moving forward to bring communication, to bring clarity. The only thing I see is that the communication is still potentially mainly energetic. Again, many of you might be dreaming about your Divine Masculine. Your Divine Masculine is sending you passionate energy, so maybe you've been feeling that too. That might manifest in a couple of ways. The situation with the karmic partner is not looking harmonious. It's not stable with the Four of Wands in reverse. I see the divine masculine moving away from the conflict of the home, moving mentally, emotionally, to just a much calmer state, feeling much more empowered, and looking towards this new passionate connection with you, or at least a new passionate cycle. Now, can you see how the Emperor is looking at this sword reversed? It's as though he's contemplating how does this Emperor come forward and speak to his divine masculine? How does he tell, divine feminine? How does he tell the divine feminine about the passion he has, about the new start he wants? How does he bring the divine feminine clarity and bring her out from being in the cold? The divine masculine isn't giving emotionally to the karmic partner anymore. We don't have any pentacles here, so a lot of what we're seeing today is internal, emotional, psychological. I really see the divine masculine as being in their thoughts, or being in his or her thoughts. And in this deck, you can see with the hand positions, it kind of mirrors the Magician. So, bringing down what's in the 5D, bringing it down to the 3D. And if you can see, he's pointing his hand there. So looking at this Ace of Swords, looking at truth, looking at clarity, and thinking, how can I bring this into the 3D? How can I communicate these things to my divine feminine? I can't see the energy of the karmic partner here. And again, as we've been seeing a lot recently, the attention and focus of the divine masculine isn't on the karmic partner. It's towards you, the divine feminine, and how they can move towards you. The Ace of Swords is very, very quick. We're looking at days here. So this is the divine masculine wants to communicate with you right now. This isn't how can they talk to you in a month, in the future. It's now. The Eight of Wands is also very quick energy. Yeah, and that's what I see for today. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, especially if you survived through the whole thing. Take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow.